So where we see this free speech being curtailed under the anti-terrorist laws, we see that the whole question of free speech is being abused by a coterie of very privileged intellectuals, and Islamophobia today is as much the preservers of the intelligentsia as it is of the English Defence League, with people like Douglas Murray of the... He's a Henry Jackson Society, but is a... a very... who's a conservative, basically saying things like Islam is such a backward religion and Muslims need to be insulted and abused every day of the week. This is what Martin Amis said when he said, the writer Martin Amis says, that the thing is that Muslims need to go through strip searching at airports, that they say the most abusive things. And if there's a very good book, recommending another book here, and it's by a Danish author called Peter Hervik. I think it's called The Annoying Difference, and he's a media specialist, and he's looked at the whole Danish cartoons, and he's looked at the newspaper Jyllands Posten that published those cartoons, and he's shown that really all this stuff about free speech was manipulated by a coterie of neoconservatives who wanted to promote the clash of civilizations thesis, who basically have as their aim, people like Geert Wilders have as their aim that they want to say things that provoke, they want to be as obscene as possible, and they want to provoke Muslims by saying the most awful things about Islam, about Muslims. And that way they hope to provoke a reaction, and that way the notion of the clash of civilizations, that people from different cultures and religions can't live together, becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And they defend this as the absolute right to free speech. Now what I say is that free speech is important. And it is also important that we have the right to criticise religion. We should have the right to criticise Catholicism, we should have the right to criticise Islam, right to criticise Judaism, and have a free discussion, but one where there is some civility. And what these extreme right are doing is removing the civility from the discussion and as being obscene as possible. And the latest one is that they love to provoke and say is that the Prophet was a paedophile. We see this in a lot of EDL literature. The Prophet is a paedophile. Then they go on and they say, because he married a 9-year-old girl in whenever. Then from that they go on to say, because all Muslims are literalists, who believe that you cannot interpret the Quran in different situations, in different cultural settings, in different eras. Because they're all literalists, because they're all fundamentalists, they support the Prophet. Because they support the Prophet, all Muslim men are paedophiles and the uncles rape their nieces. That you will read on the EDL website. So what we're seeing is a constant upping of the ante, and something that leads to all of us becoming more insecure. Because at the end of the day, if you're provoked, your ability to withstand that provocation depends on your sense of belonging. If our fellow citizens who happen to be Muslim feel confident of their sense of belonging here in the UK, feel confident that they have the same civil rights and the same human rights as their non-Muslim fellow citizens, the likelihood that they will not be provoked is less. If there are avenues for us to discuss and debate. But if they are insecure, if they are excluded, the likelihood that they will be provoked and do violent actions back is more. And that's bad for all of us. That's going to make all of us more insecure.